Hey kids, we all float down here. Also, if you want to come with me, you float too. And you're gonna get this boat. And come join the party and have fun with the clown. Pennywise, the dancing clown, has headed to theaters. Anyways, it has finally arrived, and this is the latest Stephen King adaptation film ever. And now we're gonna see it in the big screen. Before we do a movie review of it, there's gonna be a spoiler movie review after this. Another video, not this video, because this video has no spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just talking about something else, what I think of the CGI, something like that. Before we do this movie review, let's gonna talk about a little bit explanation about the It Stephen King 1990s in the miniseries. Why I think of the miniseries, I find this miniseries is I'm sorry guys, I didn't find anything scary, I didn't find anything terrifying, horror, bloody, dark. All of them are just hilarious, just hilarious, like how did people, and Georgie in this movie is not that good, I'm sorry. But the only good thing about the miniseries is Tim Curry as Pennywise. He is good, he's performed well and great as Pennywise. And now we have the new Pennywise starring as Bill Skarsgård now. And yeah, let's do a movie review. After watching The Dark Tower, which is the lame tower as I call it, we got a new Stephen King movie right now. Am I guys? Wow. This is actually better than The Dark Tower. So let me explain you this movie. It is directed by Andy Muschietti, and the cast of this movie is Pennywise as Bill Skarsgård, and the other kids, which I don't give a hell about these kids because I don't know the names of this movie. We know that most of the kids are in this movie kind of like a group. It's cringe, something like that. But this is a different though. So the plot in this movie is where you guys know the plot already. Is where you got this boy named Georgie has disappeared since after he plays with the boat and captured by a clown called Pennywise, who is the guy who played Bill Skarsgård. And then this boy named Bill, which is, I don't know that guy name, the actor, but Bill and his other friends are searching for help and something that he needs to find Jordy. I'm not gonna spoil anything. He really needs to discover what happened to this town, and yeah, everything goes wrong. But the kid, but the cast are not even the same as the original one, because the original one already grew up, so they need a new cast of it. So yeah, that's all for the plot. Now we're gonna explain what are my thoughts on this movie. So let me tell about the score in this movie. Why my thought of the score? It is, I'm not gonna lie, it is beautiful. I mean, the score is very dark, very terrifying, and very haunting. I mean, this is wow. I mean, the score in this movie is very excellent and very suspense and extremely scary and sad and emotional, and so on and so on. After that, the special effects in this movie is very scary as I thought. I mean, the special effects are so scary as hell. And I mean, okay, when I thought of this movie, when I first saw the trailer, I was not very interested in this movie because I knew it's PG-13 because, and now it turned out to be rated R. I was like, wow, it turned into rated R. How are they gonna, how are they gonna kids say the bad words. Oh, I think the kids say the bad words. The bad words. Did they say the bad words in this movie? You guess so. It is rated R. So we can guess that they say rated R as fuck shit or bitch, whatever it is. So let me tell this to you. I'm not gonna spoil one scenes. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's this one scenes that the CGI looks like fan made. Um, you, it's not the, you know, you know. Yes. So what I thought of the cast of, of this movie, but we know that the kids of the cast are just cringy as hell. But to be honest, I'm gonna explain this and for happening right now. Why I thought the cast in this what I think of the kids on this cast, it is very strong and very repetitive. And the characters are so unforgettable and memorable characters because we can see fun each other for these characters. They are so funny. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're explorers. And the characters in this movie is wow. It's very entertaining and very very important to focus on these kids in this movie because the kids in these movies are great, even better than the original one, because the original one they instead it's like a fantasy something, but this movie is horror and thriller, guys. But I might say, guys, you really need to watch this movie. What I thought of it, this is one of the best movies of 2017, but best movie of horror 2017, but not the best movie of all time. I get to say this is almost an A plus. This is almost favorite movies of all time. I thought this movie would let me down, but wow, this has surprised me a lot because the Dark Tower is just disappointing me. I really bored. And this movie is wow, that's very surprising. I mean, some of the scenes are funny, some of the scenes are very scary and actual very scary. And the bullies in this movies are complete jerks. I'm not gonna spoil the movie again. So so guys, I think this is a very enjoyable movie of all time. Guys, you really need to see this, but only for adults, not for kids, because there's some bloody scenes and you know what I mean. So there's gonna be a spoiler movie review after this. So yeah. So what I thought of it, this is best, guys. You really needed to watch this movie. That's what the kid says, that the Losers Club cast actually is good and the performance is amazing and the score in this movie is beautiful and satisfied and the good editing is very damn good. And what I say, some of the CGIs are not good, but most of the CGIs are good. But what I think of Pennywise in this movie, even though he's not looking good, if we saw him for the first time in the first picture, and now he was like, wow. In this movie, he is, I'm not gonna spoil, more scarier than the Team Curry version, to be honest, because I found this movie is very scary, very enjoyable, better than Annabelle Creation and Alien Covenant, because I found these two movies are okay. Alien Covenant, even though it's not a horror movie, but it's a thriller movie, but I found out it is so enjoyable movie. Warner Bros has done very well again since Wonder Woman, Dunkirk, and now it. He has done very well with it. So what I thought, guys, this is one of the best horror movies of all time. But I mean 2017, not the all time. So you must, guys, watch this movie. But I prefer The Conjuring than this. Sorry for that, guys, but I think this movie is kind of more scarier and almost beat The Conjuring 2. But I found The Conjuring movies are good in this. But the Annabelles, I find them Annabelle is. I prefer it is better than Annabelle because they're both the same product, and it's weird to see the Stephen King for the Stephen King movies that are connected, even though it's a different company. Even though even though it is owned by Warner Bros. And the Dark Tower is owned by Sony, because I knew that Sony would fucked up this Dark Tower. But this, wow, this is one of the best horror movies of 2017, guys. You guys must watch this movie. It's very scary, very intense, very amazing music, and very, very impressive. For that, I'm gonna give It Remake an A. Some might say this movie is way better than the 90s version, and if you think the 90s version is better, so yeah. So that's all, guys, for my It movie review. What do you guys thought? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or do you think this movie is okay? For me, I love it because this movie is too dark. When I thought it's rated R, it's very great movie. I give this movie, you know what, give it's almost a 5 out of 5 star, and yeah, I just give it with A, you know. So what are you guys thoughts on it? Is it good, is it bad, or either okay or decent enough? So let me guys know what are your thoughts on it, and there's gonna be a spoiler movie review of it. So see you guys next time, and don't forget, where's the boat? We all float down here.